All right, happy new year to everybody. Welcome to 2026. All right, so back at the boiler, and up in the front, as you can see, I've got threaded pieces that will have valves on them, but in between those there are going to be two returns like this. So this is one, and then there'll be one here. So how I do these is after I slide the pipes in, I get them perfect in the back. So the backs are exactly where they're going to be. Then I come up to the front and I tack on my elbow here to here, and then I cut my piece. After I tack these on level, the elbows, then I cut my piece. Once I get my measurement, tack that on, and then I just cut those two little tacks at the top. It gives you this. Now I weld these up. It's a lot easier to weld it. Once it's like this in my hand, I can roll it around. I can do whatever I want instead of it being in a fixed position. You know, if I didn't have a choice and I had to go do a repair and that's how the weld needed to be done, then obviously I would execute it that way. But try to work as easy as possible. So once I get that welded out, I'll bring it over here as a complete piece and I'll tack it back on over here. But what I'll do is I'll tack one side. The back's not welded yet. So one side's tacked. I can have my partner roll the back. Well, I just weld this one. We roll it back down into position. Then I'll have two fixed welds to do in position. So I'll have this one to do in position, and I'll do the same over here. Then the front will be done. Well, not completely. Then I've got to do all the flanges. So and those get two passes. I do 60-10 and then cap it with 70-18, and the end result will be this. This is one I did, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago. It was summertime. I know it was hot as hell. That's the end result. Okay, so this is the end result of those the elbows for the front. I know this might be obvious to some people, but for those who are watching who are just getting into this, you really want to try to work, as easy as possible. Now, it was so much easier to weld this on this stand to be able to roll it, run 70-18 1/8" rods. It's just a lot easier. End result, those are welded. I'll get back from lunch and I'll tack them back up in their appropriate places. And back here, like I said, the back's not welded. These are not welded. I just put tape on them just to hold them in place while I was in the front working. So I can tack them up, and then I can have my partner, my helper back here, just kind of turn this with a pipe wrench. And then I'll lock it down in place on the other side, and I'll have only one weld that's got to be done in position.